Today, I'm taking you to the beautiful Polonnaruwa. This ancient city is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. In this quick video, I'll show you what to expect when going there. We spent only a day in Polonnaruwa through our Sri Lankan itinerary. We got there by bus, coming down from Trincomalee, where we spent a couple of days. On arrival, we rented some bicycles. We rented them from our guest house, but you can also rent them from the street. The entrance ticket for the ancient city is $30 at the moment. You can pay in local currency or in dollars. That includes the little museum part, as well as all the ancient city's ruins. Quick lunch first, kotu and roti. And then we went to explore the site. So you can bring your bicycles inside of the ancient city, because it is a huge place. You can also do it on foot, or you could also hire a tuk-tuk driver. This is King George VI on a coin. You'll have those people approaching you trying to sell you those old coins. Some are quite old, some are Victorians. Sri Lankan coins with Queen Victoria from the time of the British Empire. Those Buddhas have been carved into a single piece of granite. The ancient city is an amazing site with very well preserved temples and palaces. Here you have meditating Buddha, standing Buddha, and Buddha at the time of his death. All carved into a single rock, which is quite amazing because if they were independent statues that had been glued together, that'll be different, but that's a single rock. The kingdom here flourished 900 years ago. It is the second oldest kingdom in Sri Lanka, after Anuradhapura, a place I also visited if you wanted to check out the video. So this site became the second capital after the fall of Anuradhapura. It was established in the 10th century, around the time of King Vijayabadu I. Now, when we entered the site, we actually cycled all the way up towards the end. I think it's always better to start with the end. This way it's less crowded when you reach the beginning. But it wasn't too busy anyway, as it is a huge site. And some of those ruins are very well preserved, like this part of temple here. And I love the fact they have those little stone guards guarding the temples. If you look at what's left of the staircase here on the left-hand side, it is very skinny. That is because the monks would have been going up sideways, walking like crabs, because you are not allowed to turn your back to Buddha. Even today, in those places with beautiful statues of Lord Buddha, you're not meant to take a selfie with Buddha in your back. People would tell you off. Now, a lot of those buildings were temples, so you'd be expected to go barefoot. Try not to forget where you left your shoes. Some parts of the ground are not actually that comfortable. You'll see some beautiful stupas. One of them is 55 meters high. Oh, time for a macaque grooming session. Macaques are everywhere. The sacred city of Polonnaruwa was one of the sites where the tooth of the Buddha was kept. Now, to explain the story of that tooth, Buddha was a man that received enlightenment. He died in India at about 80 years of age. He was cremated, as most people following Buddhism would still do today. And after the cremation, 2 fragments of bones remained, as well as 4 canine teeth. 3 tooths were enshrined in different places, and one was given to Sri Lankans for safeguarding. Prince Danta and Princess Emamala were in charge of it. It was first stored in Anuradhapura, then here, and then in Kandy. But the Portuguese, when they arrived and tried to promote Catholicism, they captured the tooth. At first, they accepted a huge ransom to give the tooth back, but then they changed their mind. Because the tooth was also political in a way, Sinhalese people would believe that whoever owns the tooth has the right to rule the country. So the Portuguese decided to publicly destroy the tooth. And that's what happened, according to the Portuguese. According to people from Sri Lanka, though, it was never the real tooth that the Portuguese had captured. It was a replica, made with elephant tusk. The original is still today in the possession of Sri Lankans. It is in a temple in the beautiful city of Kandy. Yeah, they have a city called Kandy. Anyway, you'll see a lot of wild animals, including that one. Look at that. It's so long. And bearing in mind, in some of those areas, you're walking barefoot. Imagine finding this one next to your feet. No idea if it's any dangerous. Look, it's eating something. Maybe a little mouse or something. Blah. About 400 people a year die out of snake bites in Sri Lanka. We did spot a few snakes through our 3 weeks in the country. But again, I don't know if any of them was any dangerous. I'm not too scared of them. But I prefer my monkeys. For our little guest house, by the way, we paid about £4.50 a night. Not very high standards, of course, but that's very affordable. And that's including the breakfast, would you believe? Those ruins are very well preserved for a country that is so wet. Talking about water, by the way, at the time of Polonnaruwa, already, there was a very well-developed hydraulic civilization, with water reservoirs all over the country, way ahead of its time. This is the temple where the tooth relic would have been kept at the time. Beautiful space. It feels a bit like the background for an Indiana Jones movie or something. Polonnaruwa was the capital of the country for about 200 years. Today it is also a popular spot for bird watching. Personally, I prefer primate watching. I could spend hours watching the monkeys. Time for bum licking. Oh. Those are the remains of the royal palace. We visited that last, so there was literally no one around. Oh, Indian palm squirrel. After getting out of the archaeological site, we went for a little cycle around the lake. I said the lake? I don't even know if it's natural. A lot of those lakes are actually water reservoirs. They were man-made. And we cycled about 20 minutes to go and see the statue of the king. I think it is King Parakramabahu. Although apparently it is debatable, some historians believe it was just a sage. Photography is prohibited with person? What? That sign confused me, but I was taking videos anyway, no photographs. Puppies! There are a lot of stray dogs in Sri Lanka. And a lot of puppies. Hello. Hope you enjoyed that little video of Polonnaruwa. If you're planning a trip and you have any questions, do pop them in the comments below. Bye! Bye!